But him denying outrightly that he didn't say that, as if the anchor is not lying or creating things he didn't say. So what are you not saying? It means that nobody should hold what you say seriously. That's what you are saying. So anything you are saying about the government, that government have done this or done that, nobody will take you serious. That's the meaning. Because they will take it that, oh, the same way you talk about bullion van, you deny. The same way you talk about there is threat to your life, they want to kill you. That Nigerians will not take you seriously. Global community will not take you seriously. That's what he doesn't understand the implication of this interview that he just did. Denying that he never said all those things is a big risk, because in the international community, anywhere he goes to say he's representing the government of Nigeria, whatever he's saying there, nobody's going to take him seriously. If you're not proud of what you want to put out, what you want to tweet, what you want to say in anywhere, don't say it. If you know you can't beat your chest and I said it, I did it, don't do it. So we should learn to have some atom of integrity in what we do, so atom of credibility. That is what our politicians lack. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos circulating on social media, between the Jazeera anchor Mehdi Hassan and Nigeria's Bwala, the presidential spokesperson of the Nigerian government. That interview was tagged head to head, and I think the name given to that interview was quite solid, because when you watch the video, I think it was about 40-something minutes, then you begin to understand why it is head to head. And I think the guy from Al Jazeera, Mehdi Hassan, did a very good job in terms of he did a lot of research. He tried to bring up a lot of issues, because many Nigerians basically have been questioning, the integrity of Nigerian politicians, the way they behave. They say something in the morning, they change in the afternoon, they change in the evening. When you look at a lot of appointments that President Bola Tinubu has made, in the couple of within this 2 years plus, he has been in this administration, you understand that some of them are people, who has spoken a whole lot of unprintable things about him, people who have fought him, people who have attacked him even during the campaign period in 2022 to 2023, people who have said a whole lot of bad things about his personality, about his image, and the things they were saying, at that point, they all knew what they were saying. But like they always say that Nigeria, politicians or Nigerian politics is all about stomach infrastructure. So when you look at people like Reno Mokiri, who even heard a whole lot of protests in UK, called him a lot of names. And today, he was nominated as an ambassador by the same man he spoke a whole lot of bad things about. Again, that is the same case with Daniel Bwala. In fact, he even tweeted that the moment you join the APC, the All Progressive Congress, where, the ruling party of President Bola Tinubu is holding power today, that you will lose your brain. When you go to his Twitter handle then and now his X handle, you're gonna see quite a whole lot of things he has said in the past concerning President Bola Tinubu when he was in the opposition, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. So most of these things he has said, came up during the interview. But surprisingly, Daniel Bwala denied all of them. He said he never said that. He denied them frantically before the anchor and even the audience, that at some point, some of the audience even was laughing. And when I looked at the whole, interview and the way he played out and the reactions of, Daniel Bola, I think he found himself in a hot seat. So he now knew that this is not NTA or AIT or, Channels TV and all of that, where they always have their way, push out propaganda and just escape from the interview question, or they dodge it without even answering it. But when you look at the way the anchor, Hassan was pressing on him, he bring up the questions, he press it on him and press it on him and press it on him, to the point that Daniel has to give up by saying that he's not aware, he never said that, he denied this, he denied that, quite a whole lot of stuff. And I think he didn't speak, well of his personality, because a man of credibility, a man of integrity, will always stand by his word, because he don't just speak. He speaks calculated words. He speaks things he know he can beat his chest, things he know he can stand up, at any time to defend. That's what a man of integrity is. But when you keep denying what you know you said and what you know you mean when you said it, then that's quite ridiculous. So, but I just want to look at some component of that interview, look at the way Daniel Bwala reacted, and be able to assess the kind of crop of politicians that we have today in our country. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. All right. So, but before I delve into that, guys, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell, so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. All right, let's get into the business of the day. Now, the interview, was kind of tense in the sense that the way the anchor was, digging out the questions, pressing it on him, Daniel was kind of too uncomfortable because he was kind of showcasing the kind of personality that he is. When somebody said, you said this, and what you said was not something that that's too credible or something that you can stand up to defend, then there's a kind of morality question that comes to you at that point, more especially that the same person you spoke against, the same person you condemned and labeled a whole lot of stuff, you are now dining with the person. So morality issue comes in, integrity issue comes in, and conscience issue also comes in. That's what I was seeing in the face of Daniel Bwala. When the camera zooms his face, you're gonna see that guilt in him. I believe at that moment he may have said to himself, and if I had known things will get this way, I wouldn't have said the things I said in the past. But the fact is that there's nothing wrong, when you have said a lot of things about somebody and at some point your perspective changed about the person. I think the most honorable thing you can do is to own up to what you said. Yes, I said it, but this is the position I was when I said it, and now I have seen a different, kind of picture, and that is why I am now going in this direction. At some point, it was kind of saying that he he said all those things when he was in the opposition, and the job of the opposition is to say a lot of things, and all of that, but that doesn't gel well, because being in the opposition does not mean you come and be spewing lies. If you know what you are saying is not true, there's no point bringing them on board in the name of politics. But he didn't present his words properly, so that argument he wanted to bring upon did not really flow, because the anchor, he was not just doing hearsay. He has the facts. He printed all those words. He have it in his hand, and he got them from his handles, X handles. He got it from his interviews on channels TV. That's why, as he's asking the question, he is mentioning the sources, how or where the information was coming from. And I think the way our politicians behave is something that is quite ridiculous, because when you look at when Hassan was bringing up fast from like people like Transparency International, Amnesty, and the rest of them, then Bwala said he doesn't know them. He was even denying most of the information he was bringing from other external sources, Amnesty International and other. But you hear Daniel Bwala quoting or citing the World Bank and the rest of them, that they say, oh, their policy is working, this. When he doesn't favor the government, he doesn't know those institutions. But when he favors the government, he knows those institutions. However, even when the IMF and the World Bank report came out then, trying to examine the Tinubu's administration's policies, so they made it clear that no matter what the government is doing, they have been making some kind of improvement in terms of trying to take off subsidy, trying to ensure the stability of naira against the dollar and what have you. But the issue is that the policies of government are not practically affecting positively the lives of the people. That I see a lot of people in the poverty region, and more are going into the poverty region because the policy has made the economy to be very harsh. They said all of that in that report when he came out at that time. So, but we hear how fast he quickly was mentioning, oh, what bank said this, what bank said. But when Hassan, we mentioned that Amnesty and Transparency International are saying that this number of people were killed and all these things, he denied, doesn't know who they are. That's and all of that. So, and in the area of insecurity, he also owned up that we agreed that it was awful, because the number of persons killed over the past 1 year is more than the number of people killed over some years ago. So when you look at when he was mentioning those figures, I can see his face, because this one is you can't defend it, because it's everywhere, every day it happens. There was a report, yesterday on how, Boko Haram and its ISWAP, attacked the military base, kidnapped over 300 people, and, killed quite a whole lot of people, and even burned houses. Is then the report just yesterday, just after the interview that you just had. So the issue of insecurity is something that is very difficult for them to, to cover up, because it happens on a daily basis, and the people are tired. So the issue is that when you look at quite a lot of responses that he was bringing up, he was not able to match what the interviewer was saying. So in the sense that the guy came out with facts and figures, but he wasn't, I don't think he was expecting that dimension of interview that, Hassan had with him. So he was thinking he would just come in there, talk a lot of propaganda and that's it. But that's a foreign media. I don't think you understand that. Then when you look at some Nigerians who are there, on the audience that, came out to speak, especially the one that was wearing the New Hope cap, I was wondering, where is he coming from? Does he even know what is going on in Nigeria, from the way he was speaking? So it was so ridiculous listening to what he was saying. There's one young man that was, talking about, he mentioned about Nigerian, politicians, it's all about stomach infrastructure and stuff like that. And why did he say that? Because Daniel Bwala was in the positions, criticizing this government, condemning this government, condemning even the president himself. Then the moment appointment was offered to him, the president became a good man, became a wonderful person. So you can see how this whole thing plays out. So in summary for me, I think Nigerian politicians, they are not just there for the well-being of Nigeria. They are just there for what they can get for themselves and their family. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. There are very few of them who have the interest of the country and the interest of the people at heart. There are very few of them. And that's why they are fighting those few so that they won't have access to that seat of power. When you look at the way, Daniel Bwala was kind of denying virtually many things he has said in the past against the president, it's so, shameful that he cannot stand his ground to say, yes, I said it, but this is why I said it, but now this is what it is. Own up to what you have done. There's no present without the past. That's the point. There's nothing wrong criticizing the man in the past and working for him, if that's your choice. But so many people like us, if we say this person is bad, and we have not seen any remarkable thing that changed from what we know about him, there's no way, we're going to be singing praises for him, knowing fully well that is not, what it is. Anyways, let's see how the, Al Jazeera anchor went back home, fact-checked him, and pull up the videos and be able to put in the question he asked him, and then put in Daniel Bwala's answers. And then you will just oppose these two, and then you'll be able to understand the point I'm trying to make here. Let's watch this video, and we'll be right back and just wrap up. Don't go away.
Never created the nations.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
The candidate of All Progressives Congress, Bola, Ahmed Tinubu, and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we're seeing a political party creating a militant arm leading to election.
Does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
There is also this threat to life, and I can tell you that because I myself have received threats from Asiwaju and his camp.
You said it was so corrupt, the 2023 election, Tinubu's win, you said that you couldn't eat food for 3 days.
I never said that. Where? And legitimate complaints were raised all over Nigeria. That part is what threw me off balance. In fact, I became so sick. For the past 3 days, I found it very hard eating food.
Tinubu is not just super rich. It's what he does with his wealth. In 2019, 2 armored money trucks, bullion vans, were seen going into his house, coming out of his house. Where did that money go?
No. Point, did you see the money? Or those who reported, did they see money inside the bullion van?
Was there no money in the bullion vans?
How am I to know?
You said it was money in the vans at the time,
I never
2023, February.
But there is only one person in Nigeria who is alleged to have moved money through bullion vans, and that person is on their ballot as the presidential candidate.
On the eve of the presidential elections, 2 cash-laden bullion vans, your words, were seen on the premises, which was ostensibly for vote buying. Your words, January 22nd, 2023. Have you just disowned everything you've said in order to work for this president?
I'm coming. What you just said now, I want to put it on record, on my own honor. That's not what I said.
All right, welcome back. So you can see clearly how, the Al Jazeera anchor just kind of put him to shame. And it's quite unfortunate because when you look at the videos, you can see the question, you see his response, and you now see what he said. The Al Jazeera anchor was talking about. So when you put the two, you can see that he just made, a show of himself in that interview. So if it was me, I will own up, I said it. I said those things. However, I've learned some certain things new about him that changed my perception of him. And that is why I began to support him. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. But him denying outrightly that he didn't say that, as if the anchor is not lying, or creating things he didn't say. That's why he even said, I didn't say that. When? When he was talking about the issues on, he talked about the bullion van issue, and he said, is there money inside? He's asking the uncle. Whereas he's the one who was on national television saying that Bola Tinubu is the president that is the presidential candidate that 2 billion van comes to his house. What does bullion van does? It carries money. That's what they do. So it's as simple as that. And the uncle now said, so you didn't see it, and you are the one that said it. So what are you not saying? It means that nobody should hold what you say seriously. That's what you are saying. So anything you are saying about the government, that government have done this or done that, nobody will take you serious. That's the meaning. Because they will take it that, oh, the same way you talk about bullion van, you deny. The same way you talk about that there is threat to your life, they want to kill you, that you will even see that you can't even feed for 3 days, for some days, or whatever he said. So Nigerians will not take you seriously. Global community will not take you seriously. That's what he doesn't understand the implication of this interview that he just did. Denying that he never said all those things is a big risk, because in the international community, anywhere he goes to say he's representing the government of Nigeria, whatever he's saying there, nobody's going to take him seriously. He even called the Christian genocide issue a hoax. That's what he called it in that interview. That's ridiculous. Something that they have debated and debated over time. And when you check statistics and check record, you will understand that this kind of thing is going on. Churches have been attacked, but he called it a hoax. And he's a Christian too. So I don't know, but it's quite, I don't know how people sell their soul just because they want to be, government official, or they want to remain relevant in a party, or, whatever it may be, whatever reason it may be. That's just like the word of God said that, what does it profit you if you gain the whole world and get loss of your soul? So what is the point? The man even was talking about, the issue that we don't even know his identity and stuff like that. The same guys who were attacking him at that time in 2022 to 2023 election, all of them are now working for him. So there's nothing wrong if you want to work with him. That's your own choice. But what you said is what you said. That's what they call it, words on marble. You can't delete it. You can't change it. So if you're not proud of what you want to put out, what you want to tweet, what you want to say in anywhere, don't say it. If you know you can't beat your chest and say, I say it, I said it, I did it, don't do it. It doesn't make sense. So we should learn to have some atom of integrity in what we do. So atom of credibility. That is what our politicians lack. Anywhere belief face, that's where they face. Anywhere money face, that's where they face. Anywhere they believe they can get something, that's where they go to. They don't care about the people they govern. They don't care about what happens to the country. They don't care. So if they do, there are many things they can be doing today as we speak. So, well, I think Daniel Bwala sat down, watched the video again, and kind of thought through his performance in that interview and all of that, and they felt that yes, I didn't do creditably well. That's why he came to his ex handle and issued a long tweet, saying all manner of stuff. After I read all that long tweet, there's nothing that makes sense in what he was saying in that tweet, because he was just trying to give a justification why his performance was like that he wasn't prepared in terms of didn't know that the anchor gonna bring up his past. Okay, the anchor will tell you, I will ask you a question from your past. I don't get it. When they tell you that you are coming for an interview to defend the government that you serve in, then you should be prepared for everything. Personal question, government question, projects, program, policies, everything. Even financials, you need to even have data. When they are talking about budget, you should be there. Look at what the anchor was talking about, the budget and planning minister, in that video. The man, I don't know. So this is a part of the reason why when appointment is to be given, there are a lot of things that need to go down, because when we are appointing different kinds of people in position of authority, the global community will not take them serious. Just like some people that are sent as an ambassador now, they won't have any powers when they get to those countries. The country will just be ignoring them because they have read their profile and see the kind of people that they are. Right? That there are people that don't have credibility, that don't have integrity. There are people that cannot stand by what they say. So anything they are discussing with them, they won't take them seriously. That's what they don't understand. That's why whatever you are doing, you need to look for people that have that pedigree, people that have that character, that competence. It's not about rewarding politicians or rewarding your attack dogs, those who fight for you on social media, by rewarding them with positions of power. It's not making sense. It should be about the country. So Daniel Bwala telling us that he wasn't prepared. The anchor told him he's coming to interview him about government in Nigeria, the policies, the programs, and all of that. they never knew his past will surface. Why wouldn't your past surface when you know you have said a lot of rubbish in the past? You should know that it should come up. And everywhere you go, even on Twitter, anytime you tweet something, you see people bringing up all those things you said in the past and line up in your, in your page. So you should understand that you can't run away from your past. Your past is your past, and it sticks with you. So you can't change the past, but you can change the present. So that's why I expected him to have done more better than the way he did in that interview. And was kind of saying that yes, he's ready to appear in any interview with anyone globally, anywhere, and defend the policies of the government and what have you. I don't really understand. That's the job you are appointed to do. So if you go for any interview, be open for any question, be open for anything. That's why you need to be prepared, vis-a-vis your expectation, because it's just like somebody going to a job interview that they ask you are coming for interview. You may think they will ask you only about the position you applied for. No, they will ask you about your past organizations, where you worked, what did you do there, how did you help that organization, which role did you play, how did you help the organization to succeed, and all of that. They will ask you. So you can't say, no, where I worked before is not relevant. Let me focus on the new company I'm about to enter. No, they will ask you, even pick from so many years, even if they like, they will even go back to the school when you went to high school, to college and university and all of that. So you can't determine which angle, except if they have drafted the question and given to you ahead of time, which many people don't do. This kind of anchor, they don't give you question ahead of time. You come there, what you see, you get. It is what it is. So what he said there is not that. I don't think it's basically because he was prepared. I think because the anchor, took him by surprise, bring up his past. He doesn't know how to respond to those past things he did or said. I think that was his problem. He was going through a lot of morality and conscience check. When those past things he said against the government, was coming out. So it affected him and weakened him, because to him, he doesn't know what he will say. By the time he's coming back, to Nigeria from that interview, he may be getting a sack letter and all of that. So you understand. So the diplomatic, ramifications, in answering those kind of questions is very technical, because you may say something, your boss may not be happy with it, and you are fired. Then you may say something, you may indict the same government that you are supposed to speak good again about, and then you may say something that may, contradict a lot of parties. So when the anchor brought up, the conversation about the Minister of Budget and National Planning, it was difficult for Daniel, because he doesn't know what to say. That if he says something, he may, be a loggerhead with the minister or with the government and all of that. So, but I don't know. There are some questions you can avoid. There are some questions you can diplomatically find a way to navigate around it and all of that. But the anchor was pressing on him. It wasn't giving him adequate time to think, of any propaganda he can use. And he used some propaganda anyway, because at some point when he asked questions, he now asking, okay, how many people were killed in America? You are not there to defend America. You are not there to talk about America. You're there to talk about Nigeria and what your government is doing, to resolve issues, especially when it comes to insecurity. The guy was putting the facts and figures before him, the number of people that were killed, the attacks, and the rest of them. So, but he decided that he will use 9/11 to kind of, navigate his way out of those issues. But one thing I hold up for him is he acknowledged that the insecurity crisis is real, and that it's really happening. And he accepts the fact, but he keeps saying the government is doing something to, kind of ameliorate the situation. But the question is, what is the government doing? Because just 24 hours ago, the military base was Waleed in Borno, right? One of the communities in Borno. Even the community people were kidnapped. Many were killed. Houses were burnt. So what exactly is the government doing? That's the point. So, well, I don't know, but I was expecting that with the U.S. Partnership, that a lot of things will start changing. There was going to be some improvements. So I don't know how that alliance is working out. I don't know, apart from the last bombing they did, during the Christmas, night. So I don't know what it is, but we keep, looking at it. But the citizens are tired, because every day they sleep with one of their eyes, or even the two eyes open. All right. So they are afraid in their own houses, they're afraid in their own communities, and these guys walled them and kill them. So I don't know. Government really need to sit up and do a lot of things that they need to do to help and reduce this insecurity crisis, even if they didn't solve it totally, but at least curb it and bring it a little bit down. So I was just kind of loading my laundry, and I put up the video, try to listen to it and see what's happening. So as I was trying to do the laundry, I was kind of laughing the way the guy was kind of pressing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, pressing him with different kinds of questions. And the guy that felt that he's in Channels TV or Arise where he could just come and navigate his way. Daniel couldn't navigate his way in this one. No, he couldn't, because it was quite a Herculean task for him, to be honest. So, but I think it's good. At least he now have that experience of how this one played out. So maybe in subsequent interviews he has to do more better than he did. But I would advise him to try as much as he can. Own up your past, own up what you said about this government you are working under, right? And then sit down, think out a better response on why you changed and decided to be working for the same government you criticized and attacked and spoke a lot of evil thing about. That's what you need to do, because this question will keep coming. You can't run away from it. So that's my advice for Daniel Bwala. Well, you've done your best, but in as much as it's not good enough, but there's always room for improvement. So I know you feel beaten, but you can do better next time. So don't get yourself worked up, as the case may be. All right. So that's what I have to say on this. So guys, I don't know what your own views are. I've seen a lot of people, talking about the video and commenting and stuff like that. But whatever you think concerning this video, put it at the comment section. My comment section is open for you, so that we keep talking and debating and brainstorming on issues. All right. And I'm gonna let it slide there. So guys, if you are new to my channel, can you like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell, so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I am signing out. See ya.